It's the time to get down.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the time. It's time for the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. All right, I thought I'd give you some inspiring chanting to get you ready for the week, because we recognize here at Pack Stereo that for many of us that has been a difficult weekend. For others of us, it's probably been a great weekend. But for many of us, it is so what can I say? Here I have a picture as part of my display of people in the street, but it seems like people in the street every week. So there's been continuous demonstrations since the president has taken office. I'm amazed. In my lifetime, I've never seen anything like this. Uncharted territory. Mostly amazed, too, by the fact that many of the activities of the president specifically is going to really impact the economic community. I'm not an economist, even though I always think they don't know or won't say, because they can't seem to ever predict or know.
True. They
just had the biggest meltdown in our history, and no one seemed to see it coming.
Right.
Or so they say. But the Koch brothers had a meeting of billionaires or something to talk about what they should do about him. Okay, now. So when I'm a leftist. Part of why these times are so confusing is that you can mostly need to choose when to stay out of the way. The president is getting ready to fight more, as he did in the primary, in the campaign, with his own people, over two main things. And they're biggies, but they're huge. They're huge. They're the money, and it's Russia. Do you know that NAFTA, GATT, all those trade agreements were carefully constructed and put in place to benefit the establishment? I'm only smiling.
Messing with the money, right?
Because the president is fucking with the money.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. You know what they say? You know what they say?
Okay. And see, it won't be the people on the left that do anything against the president. My point being, the president has to beware from the people of the right. He's messing with the money. I think of John F. Kennedy. The comparisons are there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't just want to make sure that we on the left right now, most of us, we're protesting specific issues. But the president's going to have fights with other people, too. Those are actually the biggest fights. The money and Russia. So that's dangerous to him, even though other people, I don't like to think about any kind of disastrous. The United States of America in 2016 doesn't need a violent revolutionary change. It may need a very vigorous evolutionary change. But even as a child of the 60s and the civil rights and all those days, today it doesn't really need a violent change. If there's a violent change in the United States, it's coming from the right. It's coming from the right. So it doesn't need a violent change. But in terms of the protests, I think you have to do things to shake up. I'm not inciting people to violence, but I'm saying I'm inciting people to protest. I think what's amazing is that the game has changed. And I'm going to speak as a person struggling, Dick. Mm-hmm. Struggling with the fact that the game has changed. Absolutely. So as an old leftist from the 60s, I have to change my game. Mm-hmm. I have to be more inclusive. Mm-hmm. You cannot, for black people in the movement, you need to include and be multi culture as we have been, but we have to be more. More rainbow coalition, more building coalition, because that is the way of this day. This is the day of the coalition building. Most impressed by the protests led by the women. Now, wonderful to see white women step up, as they've been the group that's been criticized for their lack of political activity. Whether you believe that or not, I certainly want to commend them for stepping up and doing the marches that they did in the ways that they did. Because maybe they are teaching us something. Now, on the other hand, they are white women. They were the ones who get to walk in and out of jail, okay? At least that's why they've been challenged. The only person I know who can walk in jail and walk out is a white woman, right? Lindsay Lohan. Pretty white women get everything. But at least white women in general are becoming more active. Way more active. Historically active. Wonderfully active. And so I want to applaud the activities. Because again, coalition building, right? Can we build some coalitions now over what we want to do? But let's recognize what's happening. It makes a difference, the cultures, the genders, all of those who get involved. Don't think it doesn't. So I have to call it like it is. We saw white women take protesting to another level. Give them a hand. Give them a hand for that.
Yeah.
Because they did it in a way that was more inclusive, not violent, and even though I'm a child of the 60s and I got all that in me, I'm trying hard to admire the efforts too that people do differently today. I'm trying to learn from it.
Right.
So let's give white women today. Let's give them a hand. White women. Why can't you say it like that so they can have a feel-good moment? I think you deserve if you're a white woman and you're a part of that, because of your influence, you deserve a feel-good moment. Take one.
Sure, yeah. Definitely, man.
I'm saying that. So, the president's ban was stayed by a judge who he then went on to insult. We're not going to read all this is ongoing and crazy.
It's all in the face.
And that's a Republican judge appointed by Bush. Okay, so in the civil rights movements, the courts were very important. It'll be very important in this movement also. Even though I must admit, I'm going to be one of those. I'm a little afraid of the president. Hey, we can argue with the North Koreans about who has the craziest leader.
Yeah, or the Philippines.
We got Trump, Duterte.
Yes.
I can't even say his Kim, whatever.
Just Kim.
Yeah,
just call him Kim.
I get mixed up with I've been too old.
Yeah,
mixed up with the Jong. Whatever.
Trench coat wearing Kim.
So we have that now in the United States. We can debate who has the craziest leader.
Yeah. It makes it interesting to think about. They say you go through the campaign period and say, okay, it's all about inclusiveness. People of color. And then you say, they're going to scream, they're going to holler. They just don't get it. And then that old group, the traditional ones, the Republicans, the right, are sitting there. A few of them going like this, watch him. They go like this, watch him. But, Mari, the part that I always say, once you say you're following the money, then everything kind of bleeds in together. It's usually the haves and the have-nots and the most powerful and the ultimate warriors in power. So I'm watching them and I'm going, the part that they're taking this stance on, reject the media. Do not fold to them. Do not let them pose the questions in the way that you're supposed to answer. They are rejecting the media.
I'm telling you, it sounds like
traditionally.
I'm gonna go pull up some Hitler speeches
and the left, or they're focused on the corrective language of communication. How important is that in the overall things? Is that the ultimate bridge for people to rally up, get a better understanding? The ultimate understanding of what's happening is to have a common language Is that what the left or the media is doing to say, look, we
Yeah,
have to do
because
that?
I hate when the media is called the left. I call that the myth of the leftist media. Because
Right.
as a black man, the media has never been left to us.
That's right.
The media is left to conservative white people.
Well, we're talking about majority now.
Right. Well, that's who the media is
Yeah,
left to. The
that's who it
media
is.
is left.
Right.
Let's be real clear. The media is left of conservative white people. They're not left to anybody of color. Because everybody of color, they give the same old racial lines. Have been. Fox News is the most racist news. I watch Fox News regularly to see where racist, bigoted white America's views are and what's promoted to them. That's exactly who they are.
And they're known. A lot of people know.
Their own leadership cited them for that.
That's right.
And wanted them to move a little bit left. But
Yeah.
Fox is the most openly bigoted, hateful.
Right.
They come off like they hate people of color.
Yeah.
So they're the good old shit. The only one thing I will tell everybody is that looking at the statistics, that those groups of Americans are about 40-some% of Americans.
Yeah.
People say, my God, that's scary. I say no, because when I was like 13, 14, that was like 80%, 90% of Americans, believe it or not. So those of you white right now who wonder what it was like in 1969, think of Trump's people and imagine all of America like that. All of America.
Yeah. Majority.
At 90%. When I was like in junior high, when I was like growing up, coming up, the whole world was Donald Trump. All of white America, that's what you need to understand. So I'm one of those people, I'm celebrating that it's down to 45%. This is the best it's ever been. And it ain't going back. The tide has turned, finally. The tide has turned. There's no going back. You just have to struggle with the movement forward. But it will move forward. Women's movements, gay movements, movements of everybody of cultures, different cultures of blacks. All of our movements, they all will move forward because the tide has turned.
Right.
They're 45%, and in 10 years they're going to be 35%, and in 20 years they're going to be 25%.
Yeah.
So their days are numbered, and they know it, and that's why they are resisting. So the news is that the struggle continues.
Yeah, and you think about it too. You know, you compare this. You know, they say compare the movement and what they're saying compared to Brit exit, or you know, that the whole thing with the changing of the guard. I may have gotten the name wrong.
Yeah, the British, and they're fighting it.
Yeah.
Once again, there's their own movement where their people voted for something,
Right,
and the people who run the government don't want to do it.
Right. So all of a sudden,
they feet in every kind of way.
And what's happening is that's why I kept
They're
calling
about to
it.
show you who's running this
I said
bitch.
the two-step is the part. Some people go, I'm coming up here to disrupt those who are in power, who are still taking more abuse. You're taking more abuse from them while they're smiling. That's what they're usually thinking. We're coming in here to bring you back to America. Well, if you go backwards to America, you'll find that there's an evolution of things happening when people take a stand, and they also want to represent a cause, is to say, hey, look, this is what represents America. So just it prompted me to sit back and go and read more history and learn that during this period of time, our marches from all different sides tend to be really more peaceful and organized. And when I say that, I'm not going to put into any particular story, but I can tell you, I can go back maybe 50, 60, 70, 80 years, how things are being conducted now, Mario, are more organized. Maybe because the women are involved more so. And it's more peaceful. And there are different types of protests, not just one-dimensional. Whether it's a North Dakota pipeline, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's about corporate Wall Street, whether it's about NAFTA, who cares? It seems like they're all organized. If you go back and look historically, you're going to find that there has been a lot of what they call violent breakouts and riots for things that are less than what you would ever assume. If you ever want to read about one that I fell across, which you'll see me covering later, or probably on a different show, I said, go read how a boxer back about 115 years ago when he won, what did people do and the consequences of his
You
victory?
told me this. Go on and tell me because this perspective is everything.
Right. Most people will always think that the riots are a condition of, say, people of color, minorities, or urban, as it relates to how people understand that today. So I went back to say, let me go do what I call a monthly tribute to what I call the celebration of achievements in Black History Month. And I call it 28 Days of February. So every day I'm going to post something historical. Positive, uplifting, but as accurate as could possibly be. I ended up going to Jack Johnson, the boxer, the first heavyweight black boxer, period. Of course, you know the story as it relates to, it beget some stories and films that dealt with the Great White Hope. And you've seen that translated over and over again. And yes, this boxer, Jack Johnson, had a lavish lifestyle. Also married a Caucasian woman, which got involved in some things that they looked at as being illegal. The most important thing that I saw here was they wanted him to lose so bad. He won. He beat, I think it's Jim Jeffries, I believe he
Came out of
retirement to fight to see if he can be the Great White Hope. What got me was not exactly that he won. It's the idea when he lost, nationwide riots by Caucasians sprouted up, all in a lot of major cities. They actually proceeded to lynch black folks. About 20 to 25, somewhere in there, people were killed. And the whole rioting was a product of those who are not people of color. Now, blacks celebrated. They had parades. It was their victory of having something that they can look at and say, hey, here's a man who's achieved something under this time that we can celebrate. At that time, in 1903, I can't believe it's over 100 years or so, they weren't having it. So when you look at the perspective of how things are today, when everybody says riots, look at them, I said, understand, go back and look, and you'll find that riots are not a product of a minority group only. You go look back far enough, you can see the viciousness of what riots are. We get blamed for, look, you're burning up your own area and stuff. That I don't agree with. I wish we stopped doing it when, peaceful march, organized. Please don't destroy. But don't put that in the pocket of people of color only. That's what I learned by going back and looking at the history.
America just denies their history. They just deny that. That's why they don't. That's why it's not known.
Right.
And they're not the only ones who do. That's human nature.
Yes, it is.
So, more and more, we have to always serve as reminders.
True. So true.
So there's a perspective. The weekly Trump disaster update. Now, to move forward with the news, because I thought this might be interesting. Here is this latest thing, which is the new sushi croissant.
Oh boy,
that sounds gross to me.
Yeah, man.
There it is, the sushi croissant, and it's obviously a big deal, and it's composed of smoked salmon, seaweed, ginger, wasabi, and it only costs about $5. But I guess this is a trend.
Wow.
The sushi croissant.
Okay. Who says it's
coming
a trend?
to LA, of course.
Who says it's a trend? Okay.
It's on Mashable.
So that means it's a trend.
It's Mashable.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying it's a trend, but
yeah, I'm wondering.
They're re-reporting.
Right.
I love Mashable. They have the weirdest shit in the world on Mashable.
They sure do. Now, I don't.
But it's big. It's a California phenomenon.
Right.
It is and it comes from Mr. Holmes Bakehouse here in California. But supposedly people like it.
Are you going to try it?
No.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Here's more technology. Here's a new robot bat.
What?
Which flies like it's not at all this way. This is a new drone. And I love this stuff because you guys let me mute it too. They have a new drone, and it's made to fly like a bat. Now, bats are unique because what the hell is this? Weird shit.
Don't worry, it's gone,
These
man.
ads.
Don't worry.
Should be jumping up on the screen. You guys forgive me, you guys, because this wonder of internet television, this technology that we use.
No, yeah.
It's like your computer.
Yeah, they're not seeing it yet because I get to watch it.
6, 5. So anyway, making a drone that flies like a bat. I think bats got like hundreds of articulations.
Right.
Here you go. See, bats have all these articulations in their wings. But this is a robot drone bat. See? Caltech. And it flies just like a bat.
Now, does that help people distinguish at night?
There it is. See, could be helpful in a disaster response to scare the shit out of people
Right.
drive them in the right direction.
Right.
I don't know. They have it. Now, I guess because of all the wing articulations you're able to do, that's why bats are agile. They can...
Right.
See how those wings big? They have tons of articulation
Yeah.
in the wings. Their flight is not the same as birds.
No, the flexibility.
Yeah, over 40 joints in their wings. Look at that. I knew it was some. I didn't know how many. It was some. I knew it was a lot.
Wow.
So now they have the rat drone. So bravo. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's distraction.
Are you going
Too
to get
much
one?
Trump shit.
You getting one?
We have so many drones. And in fact, we have the drone video.
Okay.
Here's something I thought was really nice, is that they're slowly making headway with the brain-computer interface, even though I always said this is something that they'll probably misuse. You think about a brain-computer interface, and you think of all the people you can help.
Right.
And to me, people like me start thinking of all the dirty shit you could do to control people's behavior, or at least that you would try. Because you always wanted a soldier that would just do what you said. That was the problem in Vietnam.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm a conspiracy person. But so now they have a new interface that's come out. That's another, they've been able to do it with the brain-computer interface. Mm-hmm. Now, when they say they're able to read her mind, that's that spin. They're able to, right now, it seems to be able to get yes, no kind of responses. Okay? By trying to measure their brainwave. But imagine what could happen with time.
Yes.
The subtleties could mean you could add vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
You could train them to use more and more words. After a while, even just having as few as 10 or 20 words could be totally beneficial.
Unbelievable.
So, this is another thing that is wonderful that I'm looking forward to.
It's now the ultimate goal of this is to
allow people who are paralyzed
got you.
to have other means of communication.
That's exactly what I was looking. Got it. Makes sense.
Can't speak.
Yeah.
And
Love
you can
it, man.
imagine that one day it could actually be really a wonder.
Yeah.
Now, also, here's another thing. So a lot of people have been waiting for this. They wanted a virtual keyboard. And first of all, when I type, I need to have some feedback from the machine. But take a look. This is called tap. If I can get it to go full screen. Okay, so let's go watch the YouTube. This is called tap. It's a virtual keyboard. You wear it. Take a look. Oh, God.
Welcome to the world, man.
That's right. It's the world. It's the world.
One day it'll be all your commercials popping up. It'd be totally different perspective. Then,
My
right?
goodness. Take a look at tap. This wearable interface allows you to type into your device. It works by Bluetooth, so it'll work with your phone. So notice this. You just put it on your hand, and then you can type on any surface.
Wow.
Your partner's, well, anyway.
I say don't even go there.
You
I
get
know
real
where you go.
nasty. You can type a nasty letter
Yeah.
on your woman's body parts. You could type a love letter.
There you go, man. Help
was
them.
under-
Help the
yes.
people out.
So you could tap. So this is coming out. I don't know what the cost. What was the cost? But I want you to see.
Interesting. So you're tapping. How do you? Well, obviously
It's virtual. It's the same setup as the keyboard.
Yeah.
So you're going to tap on any service. You have to get used to the fact you just don't see keys.
but you know where they're placed.
Right. They probably have you set it with one finger, and
Right.
from that point on,
right.
it's
Makes
a
sense.
reference.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to see. Do they have a price down here? They say it'll be on the shelves around August. You can sign up at the wait list. Sign up at the TAP website.
Right.
Let me see if I can see if there are any prices. I don't see a price yet. So we'll find out. It's called TAP. Okay, it's called TAP.
Right.
And you can get the information. They have their own website. Okay?
That's cool.
And so that's coming. That's one of the devices.
I like that. I like that one. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now. Everybody loves the animals. Everybody loves the animal videos because, they just love the animal videos. You can't lose. So here's one I thought was good for you guys because it reminded me of the weekend that you just had. And in this video, you see this falcon attack the poor little wabbit. This falcon attacks the wabbit, Vic. And it's terrible to watch.
But good for us to show.
Yeah, it's good for us to show.
Okay.
Watch the falcon and the wabbit. There's a falcon up there. Evil falcon! See the wonderful wabbit, little bugs running around.
He has no chance.
He has no chance.
Yeah.
The falcon's like just studying him. Look at that. Rabbit starts to fight the falcon.
Yeah. Try to do that with a kangaroo.
Look at it. Look at that. I've never seen a rabbit fight.
He can't turn his back on him.
Look at the rabbit. I can't see. Look at him.
I like it. He's got
Let's
some
give it
guns.
to it, everybody.
He got some guns, man.
Yeah. The rabbit that fights, and finally the falcon just goes away.
That's what I call it. Must be a jackrabbit. Okay. That was a bad joke.
Yay, give it up for the rabbit. Yay. Yay, rabbit. Ladies and gentlemen, and the other shit.